I'm back, baby. Ooh, and just in time too. Let's check on the flowers. Huh? Where is everyone?
Over here.
Pikmin? What are you doing here?
You never plucked me from the ground, remember? I've been like this for nearly a year.
Oof. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You had nothing else planned, did you?
Nope. Pikmin 2, the sequel to Pikmin. You see, it has a 2, so you know it's the second one. Pikmin 10-2.
2 captains, 2 new Pikmin,
One big adventure. While Pikmin 1 didn't do as well as Nintendo's bigger hits in terms of sales, fan reception was everywhere, so the unstoppable Miyamoto bike went ahead with a sequel. This time focusing on 2-player multiplayer.
And fixing up the Pikmin AI.
That's debatable, but we'll get to that. And so Pikmin 2 released mid-2004.
So the game begins with an explanation about Olimar's work, which is a shipping company, and a brief recap of the previous game. After he gets back to his planet, he finds the president of Hocotate Freight and Louie. After Louie had a run-in with the space rabbit, which ate all of the golden Pikpik carrots, the company had to sell some assets, including the SS Dolphin. Well, there goes some of our hard work. With the company in debt and with no means to repay it, Olimar accidentally dropped a souvenir for his kid, and it's worth a lot. So now the president sends Olimar and Louie back to the planet to collect treasures and repay the debt.
Wait, you're telling me the only thing the company has is the ship? Must be a pretty bad company. How does one eat gold carrots anyway? Upon landing, Olimar crashes his ship and Louie falls out. Again? But don't worry, they find each other again. It's all good. And that's pretty much it for the story. The gameplay is what you'd expect. You grow Pikmin, fight some enemies, make sure they don't get eaten, and gather them all up before the day is done. This time, however, rather than collecting pieces of your ship, you're collecting treasure which are, apparently, worth a lot back on the planet Hocotate, with you needing to raise 10,000 Pokos to save the shipping company from going under. And as if it wasn't obvious enough in the first game, these treasures are based on real-life items, from a Duracell battery to a Famicom Disk System game, a 7-Up bottle cap, and... this... Anyone remember the PlayStation 3 ad?
Oh boy, do I remember. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are now 2 captains to control. This comes really in handy when you're plucking Pikmin. The other captain will pluck alongside you. There are also new Pikmin to use. There are purple Pikmin who are strong. 1 purple Pikmin is like 10. They can also stun certain enemies. The other type is white. They are small and quick. They resist poison and can dig up buried treasure. They can also damage or outright defeat creatures if they are eaten. Now, we do have the returning Pikmin, the red, yellow, and blue. The yellow's got a new ability. They are resistant to electricity. However, they lost the ability to pick up bomb rocks. There is another type of Pikmin, but more on that later.
Because you're not stuck on this planet, there is no day limit anymore. I mean, you still have to get off the planet before dark, and if you leave an area too long, there'll be mold and enemies undoing your hard work. But besides that, the new Pikmin and 2 captains, there's not much difference. Well, there is one big difference. The underground. There are roughly 4 of them in each area, where you and 100 Pikmin of your choosing will go through a series of randomized levels to get more treasure, and that's it. It's basically an excuse for the developers to be a bit more creative with the level design and cram more treasures in an area. It's also here where you can maybe find a treasure that could give you a power-up, like knowing when a treasure is near, moving faster, or plucking Pikmin using your whistle, which is far more convenient than the normal way. But it's also here where you meet the bosses. Well, sometimes you don't, but, you know. Unlike the last game, they're treated more like bosses than just bigger enemies. And of course, they have a treasure because, I don't know, Fat Boy just got hungry. Also here's where you get to grow the new Pikmin. That's right, they don't even have onions of their own. You have to sacrifice a few of your own into these flowers to get them, and since they're only in the undergrounds, not to mention they go away after 5 Pikmin, you have to go to the exact place, leave, and do it all again. It's especially annoying when you need them, mostly the purple Pikmin. One of the treasures can only be carried by 100 purple Pikmin. Look how slow it is! There's also another type of Pikmin called Bulbmin. It's a Bulborb, but with a Pikmin leaf. It's immune to all the elemental stuff, and you can't bring them back to the surface. What? However, in the later ones, the difficulty spikes pretty bad. Every time I exit from the underground, I've already lost nearly 80 or so Pikmin. Bombs fall everywhere, too many enemies, a lot of water with poor AI. The Emperor Polplatz appears once as a boss, then as regular enemies, and I swear I'd never be able to beat him if not for the sacrifices of those white Pikmin. I also find the downgrade from the last game to be funny to me. But then, there's this guy, the Water Wrath. He just shows up and cannot be killed unless you have purple Pikmin, which you can't bring down to this particular place, so whoop-de-doo! I'm just getting the treasure, and then why?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember a cave where you hunted down by a watery demon.
Since I'm on the topic of wolves and everything I have in my life, the yellow Pikmin are kind of overpowered. Let me explain. With the fire, water, and poison, the Pikmin will shake it off with a blow of a whistle. By the way, I've just noticed that the blue ones will save other Pikmin if they drown. Didn't know that was a thing in the last game, but cool. Electricity, however, will instantly kill your Pikmin, except for the yellow ones, which makes certain situations such a joy. TLDR, the undergrounds are hard, which is especially great when you spend more than half the game down there.
There's a couple of important things before heading down into each cave. Before entering the cave, you will see what hazards are in there, so make sure to bring the right team. Secondly, once you're down there, you cannot make more Pikmin unless you find a Queen Candy Pot Bud. It will give out 5 Pikmin of a certain color. Most importantly, if you have to exit the cave, you can do it from the pause menu, but you will lose everything you got in that cave.
Wait, back the nuggets up. What are flowers called?
Candy Pot Buds?
What kind of name is that for a flower? Also, Pikmin aren't candies. They're carrots, yeah, they're vegetables.
But that's basically the underground. Now, there is something we forgot to mention. Along the way, you'll come across plants called Burgeoning Spiderwort. Yes, they're really called that.
Welcome to Burgeoning Spiderwort!
They'll come in handy if you're dealing with tough creatures or bosses.
The red ones will make your Pikmin faster and stronger, while the purple ones turns the enemies into rocks.
The graphics got a great update from the first game. It looks beautiful GameCube wise. The areas you explore look great, and fun fact, the only new area of this game is Valley of Repose. The rest of the areas are from the last game but with a season. Even the final area, Wistful Wild, is a combination of the final trial and impact site. The music is interesting when you switch captains, the tempo changes, even the Pikmin gets in on the music action. If you have 20 of every type of Pikmin, they will sing a song called Ai no Uta.
Don't get me wrong, I love how it looks, but an improvement? I'm not so sure, though I'm not an expert, so But something I find weird is that most of the time, the undergrounds don't feel like undergrounds. There's like bedrooms and a garden? Where's the lights even coming from? Speaking of weird stuff, did you know that in the European version of the box, you can see a Bulborb hiding in the background? One thing I do like is at the end of each day, instead of Alamo writing in his journal, he gets emails from his boss and even his family. Aw, look at that! What a happy dude, no wonder he was so desperate to get home. Huh, looks like I've got spam. Pikmin2.nintendo.co.uk? Spam is right. Where the heck am I? Oh, and you even get Olimar detailing the enemies and treasures he finds, and literally anything he sees. There's even a ship trying to market the treasure, and Louis, explaining how to cook the creatures. Slice the meat into tender cutlets and vigorously apply a lime and pepper rub. Oh, okay dude, slow down. Once you've collected enough money to save the company, Olimar goes back home, but you forgot to bring Louis? How'd you just do that? So then he and the president go to find him. Just this whole situation. So you get to the final boss, which is a test of your skills, which is pretty cool. Or at least it would be if not for electricity killing all of the non-yellow Pikmin. You see what I mean by the yellow Pikmin being overpowered? You might as well use them for the whole boss. I like how you can even bring Louis back to the ship as treasure. And look, not even worth much. How sad. Oh yeah, the game keeps going till you've collected everything. Yeah, money is that important. Support me on Patreon. Challenge mode returns too, though it's not quite like the last game. You and a small group of Pikmin must reach the end, collect as much treasure as you can, all under a time limit. Pretty good, except for the fact that they are also really hard. And to get the secret cutscene, you have to do them all without losing a single Pikmin. Yeah, no thanks. I've got 2 Yub. So basically, while Louis was delivering the golden Pikmin carrots, there was no space rabbit. He just got hungry and ate all the carrots. This is all your fault! Oh, and there's a versus mode where you can compete with another player. And you can also do challenge mode with a friend. I was only able to record 2 minutes of versus mode. Did you know that people complained that it didn't have online LAN support? The versus mode. On the GameCube. The one where only 8 games supported that. And that's Pikmin 2. What do I think of it? Well, you first, Pikmin 404.
It's 442.
Ah, you can't fool me this time. You're all over the internet. Now that I think about it, your brother's probably wanted.
I enjoy Pikmin 2 and it's a great sequel to a great game. While there were some things that I wish were possible, most of the things like a captain automatically plucking Pikmins got implemented in Pikmin 3. Now, I should mention that I've been playing the Wii version, which came out in 2012 in America. It's mostly the same, but with motion controls. There's one more thing we forgot to mention. In the Japanese version on GameCube, you can connect an e-reader and play some minigames by using Pikmin 2 cards. The e-reader didn't do so well here, so it was removed.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really enjoy this one very well. Don't get me wrong, when you're overground, it's good old Pikmin with not much to say, and I like that. It's just that the underground, honestly, sucks. Hey, maybe I'm just bad, but I really could not handle them. I was really not expecting to come out with this conclusion. I was expecting this game to make Pikmin 1 look primitive or something. It's just that one thing with potential kinda got out of hand for my taste. If you're a hardcore Pikmin fan, then by all means go for it. But I ain't me enough for this. Sorry. Of course, go for the Wii version. It has the same differences as the last one, so not much to explain. Although we did get the port 3 years earlier than the US. Eat my shorts, subscribers.
After Pikmin 2 released, we didn't hear about another game for a long while. Until 2012 at E3, when Pikmin 3 was shown off for the first time. And with the way things are going, looks like history has repeated itself with rumors about Pikmin 4. Someday.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share this with everyone you know and love, especially on the Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Spotify, screw it. And if you want to support me further, there's always Patreon, you know, wink, wink, wink. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Didn't have as many jokes, so I apologize if it was not as good as the other ones, but I still had a good time. Well, not so good time recording, but regardless, I'm glad to get this video done. Hopefully you enjoy my next review, and I'll see you all later. Bye.